Hello there, Trailblazer users. This particular walkthrough is going to focus on how we can identify our reacquired donors. Now, this is certainly going to be one of our more complex queries, so we'll make sure that we take our time and go through it carefully so that you understand the process. Ultimately, what we're going to be looking for is people that gave in one period, didn't give in the next, but then started giving again. In this particular example, what we're going to do is identify individuals who gave in 2020, did not give in 2021, but resumed their giving again in 2022. So we can just get an idea of how many people returned to the fold. This query is always going to start in the contacts component. Now, again, this is a customizable label, so it could be donors, voters, members, or whatever your database administrator has chosen to utilize. I have added 3 columns to the end of my column format here. One that represents total giving in 2020, one that represents total giving in 2021, and then one that represents total given in 2022. And again, as I explained, what we should expect in the very end would be that we will have individuals with an amount in 2020, nothing in 2021, but again an amount in 2022. So let's go ahead and get started with the query. We'll start in our Contribute tab, and the very first thing we need to do as always is tap on our Connect or Disconnect search unit in order to be able to manage or search for items here. So I'm going to go ahead and I can put in the date range here by typing in 1/1 of 2020 and then the closing date of 12/31 of 2020. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hit search. And as I've disclosed in the other walkthroughs, we do not necessarily need to do a search at every step. But to show you how this is all working, we're going to go ahead and do a search through each part of the procedure so that you can see how things progress here. Now we're starting out with 3,374. And so in our next step, we're going to expect that we're going to have a group fall off. What we're also going to expect here is because we're going to be searching for individuals that did not give in 2021, that this will drop down to show only individuals who have a $0 amount in the 2021 column. So then our next step is to identify that group of individuals. So to get our first AND statement, we're going to proceed up to our Show Advanced Functions button. Again, this looks much like a play button for a DVD or a Blu-ray player. So we'll tap on this and select our AND statement, this little orange and white ampersand icon. This is going to narrow our search. Once I tap on it, you'll see we now have 2 tabs. In this case, the first one will represent the giving in 2020, and this one is going to represent those who did not give in 2021. So we'll go ahead and plug in the dates for 2021 now. So we'll do 1/1 of 2021, and we'll do 12/31 of 2021. Again, you can feel free to adjust these dates to meet your needs. You do not have to limit them to the dates used in this exercise. But we have one last step here in this particular tab because right now we are including those people who gave in 2021 and we need to exclude them. So our next step is to tap on this activate or inactivate not condition. We have a little green plus sign that appears on front of this icon at present, and that means this group is included. However, when I tap on this, it changes that green plus sign to a red X, and that tells us that this group is now being excluded. So I'll go ahead and hit search, and what we'll expect to find is that 2020 will only contain amounts, and 2021 will only contain zeros. And we can verify that by checking the bottom column and getting the total of $0. Now, if I look over to the 2022 column, it looks like we've got a lot of people who returned, who came back to the fold, but we know that this is not going to be all of them. So we expect that this amount is going to drop. Right now we're at 1,651. So our last step here is going to be to add yet one more and statement. So now we'll have 2021 represented, or rather 2020 represented, 2021 represented, and this last one will be 2022. So let's go ahead, we'll plug that in. So we'll do January 1st of 2022 to December 31st of 2022, and we'll do one last search. Now we're fortunate, it looks like, in that most of these donors actually did come back. So our numbers did not drop off that much. In the end, ultimately what we're concerned about is identifying those people that did fall off that we managed to successfully bring back. And we can verify that with these amounts in these columns, and we can compare this against the original amount of those who donated in 2020 and those who fell off in 2021.